What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my husband, and we are going to do our annual, it's a tradition at this point on our channel, on my channel, our annual marriage Q&A, where we just talk about different things that we've learned in our marriage. You guys have submitted questions. I asked y'all to submit questions on Instagram as well as on YouTube. So y'all asked us questions and we're about to answer them. This video is a little bit overdue. I appreciate y'all's patience with me as we sit and record. So for those of you who do not know, or if it's your first time, I'm Kiera. This is Joel. I'm 30 years old.
I'm 32.
And we got married December.
No, we didn't.
I was just checking. Okay.
February 1-2.
12.
All right, so I did that right. February 12th, 2022.
Yes. And we happened to go viral for our $500 wedding and my $47 wedding dress. So we have completed 2 years of marriage, okay? And we are in our third year. So really excited to get into these questions. Okay, so out the gate, what's the biggest relationship challenge for you both? The biggest relationship challenge for me this year has been allowing you to cover me. Like being a covering, or like we hear like, oh, I want a provider, I want all of this. And I've always said that, right? Like, oh, I want my man to provide, like I want my man to cover me. We think like covering spiritually, even that has been a struggle as well. And it really doesn't have anything to do with like me not trusting him, but out of my own independence and what I'm used to, it's like I'm used to, you know, going to God and hearing from God myself. There's some things that I go to God about and God is silent, but he'll let me know through my husband. So I'm like, it's at the same time, like it's teaching me to allow him and make room for him to be my covering and like really teaching me what that looks like spiritually. And then in return, I really do believe that it's helping him be more confident in his leading. Or like there's times where I go and like I spend time with God and I'm like, I don't know what scripture to read or something. But like I have to ask my husband like, hey, what have you been studying? And he'll tell me, and then we study it together. I'm like, wow, I really needed that. But so that's been a struggle. And sometimes like maybe the pride in me or the human side of me is like, dang, like you gotta go to somebody else to get what you need. You can't get it all on your own. But that's really the part of having a covering and having a man lead you. And then as well as financially, like we always say, like, oh, I want my man to lead. I want my man to, I want my man to provide. I want my man to cover me. I want to be a kept woman. Child, that comes with humility, because I like to have my own. I like to make my own money. I like to be able to cover myself. But there have been instances in this past year of our marriage where, thank God, like he was in a position to cover me in those areas. But like it was like hard for me. It was different for me. So I would say really more so within those two, like spiritually and financially, I think like the spiritual aspect is harder. And I know that as we continue on like being married, like I'm like, this is an adjustment. Like I'm just gonna have to adjust. So I hope that makes sense. So I would say that has been like the biggest challenge for me this year.
How surprising. Yeah, I think I didn't realize how hard it would be trying to lead a home. You know what I mean?
Don't try to piggyback off my answer for you.
I'm not, but you putting things into perspective. Like how I used to say, like, wow, you so strong. You doing school work, you know, and you know, like I didn't recognize, like I didn't really step back and really see everything I was doing. But it puts everything into perspective of how what a husband should do. And me not seeing that growing up, of course, I'm so hard on myself. I could probably be doing the right thing and still don't think I'm doing the right thing. So I think to add on to that, one of the hardest or the struggles I've had in this past year would be believing I could lead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I say that because, again, like with school and work and stuff like that, me being away from home most of the day, so I struggled with which way to go. Like, should I just focus on my marriage? Should I just focus on school? Should I just focus on my career? Like,
so
everything
it's
is
balancing.
It's like balancing.
It was a challenge of you just balancing the different roles and responsibilities.
Especially when you have the personality where you can just lock in to something. And you know me, once I lock into something, I go full throttle, and I can tend to forget other things. So I think balance is the biggest struggle I had this past year.
Okay, that was good. Next question is, how has these 2 years been, like us being married?
I feel like we've grown. I feel like we've grown a lot. Petty stuff at the beginning. I mean, that's immaturity. I think we matured a lot. We've grown a lot to where it's like now we're thinking about kids, having a home, of course our career, what's next and stuff like that. We're getting the creaks and the crevices, and we're ironing things out. You know, we still learning as much. If we're always growing, of course we're going to continue to learn each other. Maybe we're learning even new things about each other.
Always.
You know, so.
Yeah, I would say these past 2 years have been very fast moving. I think we've accomplished a lot, and the amount of stuff that has happened, or the amount of stuff that we've been through or conquered or learned, to me it doesn't equate to 2 years. Like, I feel like we've been through like years of stuff over the course of 2 years. And I'm not just saying like bad stuff, it's just like elevation, whether you're learning lessons. Like, literally these past 2 years, we have lived in 3 different cities, 3 different spots, but they all have purpose to it. You know, none of it was ever, in my opinion, or what I believe, outside of God's will. Like, it all had purpose to it, and I was always at a place where I believed that God was leading me to. So it was like, it's just been a lot, and things have been moving. I don't want to say fast, because we have our seasons where stuff is fast, but like, it's been a jam-packed 2 years. But it has been good. And when I look back on just where we were 2 years ago, like I was just telling you the other day, I was like, sometimes I can get like overwhelmed with just like happiness, or if I do start crying, it's like tears of joy, because it's just like, wow, like I remember when we were like this, and like, you know, here we are now. So that's how I would say the past 2 years have been. How do y'all do your expenses? 50-50, 70-30, etc. I would say we do whatever makes sense, and it's different in different seasons, because there's been some seasons where it was 70-30, 50-50, 100. Like, there's been different seasons. So, but I will say is that, because I would always wonder how married couples did their finances, because I needed an idea, and a lot of married couples just were not comfortable sharing. So what I will say is that for us, we have a joint account that we share, and we each contribute a certain percentage in it, and that percentage is based off of our income. So if we hear and both of our incomes is the same, expenses is the same, we probably 50-50 in this season. If one is here and the other one is here, then it may be 70-30 or 60-40. Gotta make sure my math is right. So like, it really depends on the season. But how we do it is that we have a joint account, which is our home account, and we have all of our expenses that we share together coming out of that account. We create a budget for that account, and we are putting in an allocated percentage of our personal income that we receive into that account. I know some married folks, they put all their money into one pot and they figure it out. I would just say, do what works for you, do what works for y'all, and what works for us is we have a home account and we each put our expenses in there. So I know when I first got married, I was like really like, oh no, you're the provider, like we're not going 50-50 on anything. Girl, please, because and I had a rude awakening for myself, because to me, like that mindset was just not right. And I've learned through the different things that we've been through, really how to work together as a team and how to see your finances as a team. So either way, whether he's bringing in this much, I'm bringing in that much, it's still going to affect the household. And that's why people say like his money is my money, because the choices and the decisions that we make with our money is going to affect each other. So at the end of the day, like it can never really be separate. I don't know why I said it. I don't really have nothing to do with nothing, but somebody must have needed to hear that. So that's why I said it. Do you have anything? Do you want to add anything? Do you want to add anything to that? You don't have to.
Nah.
Okay. What got easier in year 2?
Being less guarded with my like finances and being open to support. I never want to do what Kiera wanted to do.
So that's something different.
It is different.
No, I'm saying so that's different than you being open. That would be like. Oh, are you saying like being more open? Okay,
doing,
I see it.
You know what my wife wants to do.
So just being more open in general. Oh, I see. Okay, and then you're labeling.
And I'm just labeling like
different examples or different areas. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right, let the people know where you're going. Okay. What got easier for me in year 2, I think, was the way, or for me, I think I speak for both of us, is the way that we handle conflict. We don't argue as much as we used to. The beef do not go on for as long as it used to. And we don't argue the way that we used to argue. And I think that is something that got better. Like we just got better at communicating with each other and just handling our emotions better. I know for sure I did, okay? Because I was that girl. I was crazy. I mean, I don't really believe you ever stop being crazy, but you kind of just learn, like, you know, you just mature
until you meet your match.
You just mature to a place where you like, I'm not doing all that no more, you know? Anyways, that's for all my girls who crazy. Like, you're not alone, okay? Half of these women is crazy too. They just afraid to do the things that come to their mind. We all thinking the same thing. It's just some of us actually do it and some of us don't. Anyways, okay, as a Christian couple, what do you do for fun to keep this spark that's not worldly?
We do us. We don't look at what the culture, what everybody else is doing. Like, I think we enjoy what we enjoy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll go out, we'll go to a hookah spot. We'll probably, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we go dancing. We won't go to the club because I just feel like we outgrown that. It's just, but like we'll go see a live band sometimes. We'll go dancing. We will go to the movies, game nights. I feel like we do a lot. I don't really feel like we're missing out on anything, and maybe that's because if there is something that is worldly, like we don't have a desire to do it. So to me, it doesn't feel like we're missing out on it, you know? Because it's like we don't have a desire to do that in the first place. Like, we're not on that. Like,
we've done it all. Like we did so much things. I mean, we did so much in our younger years, college years and stuff like that. Like none of that stuff phases us. Like none of that phases us.
I mean, it's just all empty. It's not, the return is not there. So we just.
Should we be ready to go to bed into the clock?
I know. And that's something where I do wish like we could experience more like night things. But there are like if you don't want to go to the club, right, because that's considered worldly, then it's like, okay, go to a comedy show. Go to a sip and paint. If you don't drink alcohol, then just don't drink the alcohol. If it's a matter of you not being able to be around the alcohol, then maybe do a paint at home. You know. What else do we do? Concerts. Go to concerts. Go see your favorite artists in concert. Whether it's secular music or if you don't listen to secular music. There's a lot of gospel artists are going on concerts now. So stuff like that. Go to the spa. Go get a couples massage. Like all of these things I feel really help keep the spark in your marriage because you are intentionally pouring into the marriage. Like you're intentionally doing something. You're creating memories together. And that's something that I feel we were able to do more of this year just because the budget allowed, honestly. And I'm hoping that we can continue in doing like even more of those things, because it really does like help, especially when y'all going through life stuff. Like, child, when you're dealing with real life stuff, it helps to have those moments to have fun together, because it just strengthens you to be able to conquer whatever's trying to rise up. Okay, what keeps your relationship strong and solid?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Jesus!
Well, now you know.
And a decision. Okay, go ahead.
That's it?
Sure, go ahead, you can go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the foundation right there. Ain't too much to say about that.
God is the glue in this here marriage. Now, he's not the glue for everybody's marriage. But if you let him lead your life and you let him be Lord over your life, he can be the glue of your marriage too. So, he's the glue. He literally keeps us. He helps us and keeps this thing solid. It's solid because it's built on him. This marriage was founded on him, and it was built on him, so it's solid. What keeps it strong? Because I do think that there are things that can come in the way to make a marriage weak. So I think like intimacy, and not just talking sex, but like emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy, you know, creating memories together, like being intentional on doing these things, because it all is a form of intimacy. I think that helps keep a relationship, keep a marriage strong.
I agree.
Okay, the next one says, what helps you both feel more like soulmates and less like roommates when you've been together for so long and going through the motions and balancing life?
I think when we be intentional, like when we're intentional, like this is what we're gonna do today, this is what we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like we're intentional about each other. We'll be intentional about the emotions we feel. We're connected. Like we feel more connected. You know what I mean? And when you feel more connected, it's like a force that, you know, can't be broken, or you know what I mean? Even simple stuff like asking each other about each other's day, pillow talking.
Oh, I love when you let us pillow talk.
Yeah.
He not a pillow talker, so
Boop be ready to talk that. You ready to go to bed. Should you hit that pillow talk? So funny. What you thinking about?
Yeah, because that's just the girl in me. I think it is easy, or I'm seeing how easy it is to fall into like that roommate thing, especially in going into year 3, because I feel like now we've adjusted more to each other, and it's a lot more like, I don't know, I feel like our first year I was just so excited to be married to you. Like, you know, I don't think I ever felt like your roommate back then, and it was always so much going on. Like it was so much going on all the time, to where it was like, you know, like it was never, I don't want to say never, but like I feel like now like since we're a little more established, and it's just like we can kind of relax a little bit more. So I feel like it has been, I can see how easy it is to become like roommates with your spouse. So I do agree that just being intentional on like, okay, the card games, communication, I think intimacy, like having sex, because you don't, well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but most of the time roommates is just roommates, nothing else. So just doing things that build your intimacy, and just being intentional, I think can help. But you know, y'all, we are 2 years old, so you know what I mean, let's circle back on this like 5, 6, 7, 8 years from then, because then I really feel like we'll have a legit answer. You know, because I still feel like it's too soon. But it's definitely something that I think you should be intentional about not becoming, because I think it's very easy for it to creep in and not just be like your roommate. Like there's some times where when I'm feeling like we're roommates, I'll be like, hey roommate, like out of like being petty, like you know, we need to get it together because, you know what I mean, take a shower together, like do something that, for real, like just to remind yourselves like, oh, this is my husband, this is my wife, like stuff like that. Okay, this says, yesterday marked 6 months of me being married. My question is, does it get easier? It's like we're learning each other all over again, but we're different people from before.
Yeah, like it gets easier, but at the same time, like again, you're growing as well. So it's like you continue to learn this person. You continue to learn as they grow. They start to like new things. They start to dislike things.
Mm-hmm.
So you're constantly learning a person. So I mean, that's what makes it fun.
I would say it does get easier because you have to think about it, like it's your first time being married to this person. It may, for a lot of people, be your first time being a wife. So it's all new. And I do think with time, it does get better because you learn the person more. You learn more about yourself. They learn more about you. Y'all start learning how to treat each other, when to back off, when to give space. Like, y'all start learning all of these things with time of living together, of spending time together. So I will say that it does get easier, or I would say like you two get stronger, especially with God as your foundation. Like it's only, y'all are only going to continue to elevate the more that you keep God the center of your personal lives and of your marriage. So not only does it get easier, like you guys get stronger, and I feel like that is kind of what helps, like ease things, because you really learn how to fight together. You learn how to work as a team. You learn how to protect your marriage. Like all that stuff is with time. And so yes, I just want to encourage you that it does get easier. You're never going to stop learning your spouse, but I think that you will, you'll just learn more about your husband. Would either of you do anything differently up to this point? Dating, wedding, how you handle specific instances in your marriage, etc.
Yeah, I would do the wedding. I think you would too.
Ooh, don't speak for me.
You would. She would.
How would you do it?
I would. Of course, I would want a wedding that we both desired. You know what I mean?
I think.
Plus, I didn't even have my vows. Yo.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a good answer. What would you do differently so you could have your vows?
I typed my vows on my phone, and we was out there all morning and stuff like that. And
I'm sure you didn't even charge your phone.
Everybody calling my phone and stuff like that. So by the time for me to get my vows, say my vows, I pull up my phone dead. So I looked at Lacey. I looked at Lacey and said, yo, my phone dead.
Lacey
is her mom's husband. They both did. He's a pastor, and they both officiated the wedding.
Yes.
So I told Lacey, like, hey man, my phone died. He looked at me and said, you better figure something out. So I had to do my vows off the top. So I was nervous, so I said it kind of quick, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, so that's what I'll do differently too.
What would you do specifically?
I'll probably practice my vows and remember them.
Wow.
So if anything happened, rip paper fly away, whatever.
Okay. Ooh, I have my vows on my phone, and I also had a paper copy just in case something happened and I couldn't get to my phone.
See, y'all. Men, we don't think well, I don't say everybody, but I need to think better. I need to do things better.
Well, you're married to someone who thinks like that, so God helped you out with that. Now, for me, I would do my wedding differently, and you may be surprised because this is going off of the circumstances at that time. Money, everything that was going on. COVID was I think in the middle of the second surge or something. So with everything going on, I think I would have did the courthouse wedding. Because I've been seeing some, no, for real, I've been seeing some bomb courthouse weddings, and people people go out to dinner after and it's like so bomb and like the girls' dresses are so cute and it's just the photos are so cute. Maybe I'm just in love with the photos. So I don't know. I don't know. As far as like wedding, yeah. When it came to us dating, I think I would have been a lot more patient with him and just allowing him to
Girl.
I wouldn't have pressured him so much because if y'all looked at our
pressure.
If y'all looked at our what do we do? Our dating series, our not so Christian love story on like how we became like together, boyfriend and girlfriend. It was a lot of like, because I knew that this was the person I wanted to be with, and I didn't really know, I didn't steward that the best way, and I was like, yo, we need to be together. I never told him like, oh, God told me you my husband, but I'm like, we gotta make this work. Listen, look here. And so I wouldn't have did that. Looking back at who I am now, I wouldn't have did that, child. I would have just, you know. So yeah, that's what I would have handled differently. Okay, last question, because I could feel you disengaging.
I am.
I could feel like I'm done. Okay, what suggestions would either of you give regarding fostering respectful and healthy boundaries with your in-laws or parents?
What goes on with you and your wife stays between you and your wife.
God and therapist, or like a mentor or somebody.
Yeah. Keep in-house things in-house. You can share with them, I'm saying, little bit of details, but everything shouldn't be like, you know, because of course my mom and my father might say things like kind of basically being biased. They'll be biased to what I have to say.
And I love y'all.
But check this out, not all of
ours.
I know, but I'm saying like, my mom knows me though, so she's gonna take Kiara's side more than anything because she know me. Like,
is she taking my side or is she taking the right?
She's taking the right side because my mom knows me.
Step one is to have these boundaries from day one. Okay, like Joe said, we love our parents, and as much as parents say I'm not biased, I think our parents, any parent, anyone who knows you personally, some way, shape, or form, they're going to be biased because at the end of the day, whether we stay married or not, guess what? They still your parents, period. They still going to have your back, regardless. Luckily for us, we have parents who I feel are wise, they have experience, they're in support of our union. So they're always, if they do give advice or something, they mean well, you know, in what they're saying. So what I would say is step 2 is to get a therapist that y'all go see together, because it's a really good way to clinically work with someone who has the education and the training to help y'all work through y'all problems from an unbiased opinion, okay? Because these people don't know y'all from a can of paint. So it's unbiased. And then step 3 would be to get a mentor. Find a married couple who y'all do not know personally, that you two are both meeting at the same time, and have them help you walk you through your marriage. I believe that God will lead you to these people because they're going to be equipped to help you and carry you through. Our mentors that we met, I don't think we would have made it through our first year of marriage without them, because like, you just need someone who has been where you've been and made it out. And they were able to really help us, and I feel they had the capacity to really know the real raw truth of what was going on within our marriage to help us, because like I said, our parents love us, so they gonna, when they feel like it's too much, or they feel like, oh no, like I gotta step in and save this person or protect this person, they're gonna do that because they're our parents. So I would say, lay those boundaries. How you do that is you don't share too much. Just be a little wise. Be honest, you know, if you're going through. And if your parents are married, they gonna already know. Like, oh, I already know. And luckily for us, I feel like our parents don't overstep. They not like, you know, they're there for us if we need to talk to them, but they don't ever like overstep. And so that's how I would say is to lay those boundaries. Okay, y'all, so my camera keeps overheating, but luckily we got through all of the questions. So I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Again, please forgive us for it taking so long, y'all. We have a lot going on in this season of our lives. Joel is a full-time student, a full-time worker. Okay, so it's just a lot going on, and we just do not have the availability to be like doing all this right now, okay? Because God has called us to build in another way. I don't want to say build another way. Yeah, he has called us to build in more ways. So we're just still trying to navigate how this looks of us like showing up together online for y'all. But anyways, we appreciate y'all patience. And if you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Pray and slay. I'll see
Pray
you in
and
the...
slay.
Yes, pray and slay these demons and then slay.
That's what y'all say.
And
Pray and
slay in real life too. Okay, because we got to keep it together. Okay, y'all. Bye.
I've been all in my phone, I got options. And I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna play.